What's up YouTube land? Greg here, Chronicles, and today is going to be something different. Different for us anyway. Normally we take one product, we tell you all about it, why we chose it, so on and so forth. We don't really ever do comparisons except for when we're doing the backcountry gear list. But today, you got Christmas coming up. 24 days away, holiday season of gifts, so we figured we would do this comparison only because it's something that is being talked about so much right now in the industry that we wanted to bring it to you and give you our little twist, our opinion, if you will, on this in particular product. So, at the end of every year, going into a new year, all of the bow manufacturers start releasing their new bows for the following year. Athens has released, Matthews has released, PSE has released, Prime has released. You know from past videos, you know from watching our show that we run Xpedition archery bows. Love their bows, love the folks over there, just great people. I've talked to them numerous times at ATA. But every year, it's a big thing when Matthews releases a bow. Now, I am not going to say that Matthews is not one of the top archery companies. Notice I didn't say the top. One of the top. And I say that for a reason, okay? One, keep in mind this is an opinionated comparison, okay? Just like our backcountry gear list, nothing we say is the golden rule. We're just giving you our 2 cents, if you will. So, for those of you that know me personally, know that I am not a Matthews fan. Never have been. But I wiped all of my bias aside to do this. Okay? I shoot an Xpedition. I'm not a fan of Matthews. But what are we doing tonight? We're comparing the Xpedition X30 against the new Matthews V3X 29. Okay? So this is 100%. I went into this like I was a brand new bow purchaser, and I'm going in and I want to know, why should I buy one or the other? So we went down to our local shop, Lonesome Road Archery down in Taylor, and they are a Matthews dealer. They are not an Xpedition dealer. They happen to have one of the V3Xs in 29 set up with the integrated system. So I took my Xpedition X30 down to the shop, we shot them, we checked weight, we went over specs, and then we're going to come back after you see that portion of the video and I'm going to go over my opinions, pros and cons, and we're going to try to not make this some lengthy, crazy video, but it's hard to do when you're doing a comparison like that. So bear with us, please watch this video. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe, because as some of the other bows get released, we're going to try to do a couple different comparisons. The reason this one was big, because this is something everybody's been talking about. People are posting pictures. My sight fits this bow integrated. My rest does this. So I wanted to just drill it down. Okay, from our perspective, my perspective, the difference between the V3X and my X30, pros and cons, give you guys something to chew on when you're going to look for your next bow, because everybody, I got to sell my V3, I got to sell this, I got to sell that, I want the new V3X. Guys, just check this video out. Please, I know I'm going to get slammed with different things, okay? But this was an unbiased, 100% unbiased, opinionated comparison. Keep that in mind while you're watching this video, okay? Leave your comments. Make sure you subscribe. Check out all of our videos. Check us out over on Carbon TV. Down here at Lonesome Road Archery Shop in Taylor, Pennsylvania. And they've allowed us to come in to do this, the video that we've been hemming and hawing about, let's put it that way. So most of you know, we shoot Xpedition archery bows and love them. But talk around the industry, obviously with the end of the year coming, new bows being released, everybody's been talking about the Mathews V3X. So we decided that we were going to come down to the shop and do a comparison video. So we're going to do my X30 against the new graphite colored V3X from Mathews. So couple big things, obviously, in difference in the bows. One is price, two is the new Mathews integrated system. So this bow was already set up when they received it. So it has an integrated Mathews sight, an integrated QAD Mathews rest. It does have the low pro quiver on it. And it is in the graphite color. So the big thing with Mathews in their new graphite color is there is an upcharge for that color bow. Okay. To go against with the X30, I have a QAD rest. I have my standard Viper archery sight that I've been shooting all season. This is borrowed from the shop because I normally don't have a stand on it. That also has the integrated rest on it from Mathews. I do not have a stabilizer on this bow currently, but when I shoot it, I will. I have a Viper Archery 12-inch. So to start with the X30, as you've seen me talk about before in the X30 video we did, this is their new X-Loy, lighter than carbon, stronger than aluminum, super lightweight bow. IBO speed to 350 to 352, 6¼ inch brace height. This is in all black with the custom pink strings that I did. MSRP on this bow, the way it sits without the accessories, $13.99. Okay, go to the Mathews. This is the 29, so it's as close as I can get to the X30 as far as axle to axle. So mine is a 30-inch axle to axle. This is 29 inches axle to axle. This seems to be the most popular one, that and the 27 that everybody's been talking about. So again, like I mentioned before, the graphite color. This has their 6-inch stabilizer on it. It's the Mathews, again, integrated Excel sight, which goes through the riser. This has the bridge lock technology on it. This also has the integrated QAD Ultra Rest on it. And again, it does have the feet, and it does have their connect for their silent system to get it up in the tree, and their low pro quiver. So bare bow only, you're looking at $12.75 for the graphite color. MSRP. Both the prices I'm giving you are MSRPs. So the MSRP $12.75 in graphite, $11.99 in any other color. Now, if you did an all black bow similar to mine, from what I've been told, is you can change limb colors for no upcharge. But so again, all graphite, all black. Okay, I can tell just by holding the bows in my hand, and we will go to a draw scale because I'm going to try to shoot these as similar as possible. Let me get down to my grip here. So Mathews bow, definitely heavier than my Xpedition, and I'm going to try to do this as unbiased as possible. Okay, I love my X30, but I want to see what everybody's raving about. I don't shoot a Mathews. I've never shot a Mathews. So I wanted to do this comparison so people can see, you know, you might be missing out on something just because it has the name Mathews on it doesn't mean much. So again, definite weight difference. Mathews is probably a whole pound heavier than my Xpedition is. And again, even if I put my stabilizer on here, it's not going to change that much. So I'm going to go over in more detail the Mathews, some of the specs. But I'll do that after we shoot. So we're going to shoot a 3-spot. I'm going to shoot my Xpedition at the top spot, and I'm going to shoot my, or not my, but the shop's Matthews at the bottom right spot. Now, if you can see, bear with me as I duck out of the picture a minute. So I do have a GoPro mounted to their target backers. I will have the camera that I'm talking to you on right now set up facing me, and I have our third camera set up to be behind me. So you can see everything, you can see what I'm shooting, how I'm shooting, so that there's no change. We're gonna shoot at 20 yards, we're gonna shoot 3 arrows a piece. To be fair, again, we're gonna go to the dry scale and make sure both bows are set. I'm gonna be shooting a B3 Omega thumb release. So everything is the same, everything will anchor the same. The draw lengths I know are the same. 28.5 inches on both bows. So we're gonna see how it goes, see what the overall feel is. I'll give you my unbiased, honest opinion at the end of the video. All right, guys, so we have our friend Joe from the shop, Joe B. He's actually gonna put the bows on the scale, so it's not me doing it, so it's 100% exactly the way it shows. I'll put the numbers up for you guys to see. So first he's doing the Matthews. Oh, he broke one of the internal arrows that came on the bow.
You know, here's the problem. You can't grab it.
So the low profile actually came with flat fake arrows in it, and he actually just broke one by accident. But let's see what we got here.
It's about, I'm almost ready to go over. That's gotta be it.
All right, so that one's at about 55. And we'll see where my bow is. He shouldn't have a problem with anything on my bow. I hope not, anyway. And we're about the same. You'd say we're about the same there?
Pound heavier.
Minus?
This is 56. Well,
okay.
My view.
Right.
You're taller than me.
Sure. So we're within a pound per se. So we're gonna leave it where they are because they're gonna draw pretty similar at that weight. So. All right, guys, we're getting ready to shoot both the V3X from Matthews and my Xpedition X30. Again, to be fair, we're shooting the same arrows out of both bows. We're gonna shoot the Easton 4mm fill metal jackets. So everything should be the same. The Matthews was sighted in here at the shop. My bow was obviously sighted in because I've been hunting with it. So we're gonna shoot the X30 first because I'm used to that bow. I know exactly how it's gonna react, and then we'll move on to the Matthews. All right, guys, so we have all the cameras turned on. Again, we're shooting a 3-spot target. I do have a GoPro down there. We're gonna run the Xpedition on the top spot. Again, using the B3 Omega, Easton 4mm full metal jackets. I do have a camera set up here behind me, and then obviously the one I'm talking to you on. So basically we're looking for feel, draw, sound, all the big things that you're going to look for as a bow hunting bow. So we're going to go.
Your admin came out there, not out of Tulsa.
All my stuff came out of Fort Bragg, and they screwed up enough for me to. But yeah, she didn't let.
So first shot with the Xpedition, little high, but I am, as most of you guys will say, is punching my release. It's been about a week since I shot the bow, so got to break some bad habits.
Hey, right up here. Cosmo, come.
Good group, little high. So third and final arrow with the Xpedition. Obviously, I know what the draw is like. I know what the sound is like. This is 80% adjustable let off. I have not adjusted it. What's really nice, this is the lever cam that's on this bow, so you can do draw length adjustments in 1/2-inch increments without a bow press. The only thing that this one doesn't currently have on it that the Xpedition did was a wrist sling. It's not a huge deal. So we're gonna go Because these are both QAD rests, the odd feather needs to be up. And apparently I haven't shot that arrow yet. So again, QAD, it's the lever. You're using your thumb to switch it up. What I do like about the regular QAD, it does have a longer switch on it to flip your actual rest up. This one's a little short, but not a huge deal. Still same thing. If you're used to shooting a QAD, you won't have any issues. So we're shooting the right spot. If you notice, when I draw this, and I don't know if it's because of my thumb release, I'm just going back further, but it seems to want to jump in the middle of the draw, right there. All right, guys, we're back, and as you just saw, we just shot both the X30 and the V3X 29. So I wanted to go over some more tech specs here, and I actually have the spec sheets on both bows. One is on my phone, the other is in my hand. So I'm gonna go over in detail the Xpedition first. So it features the X-Loy by Magnite, which is the actual component that the riser and limbs are made out of. It has the X-Lock pockets, the lever cam, which we talked about a little bit before, the ETS cable system. It's an IBO of 350 to 352, weighs 3.6 pounds. It's 29.625 axle to axle. It's got a 6 1/4 inch brace height. It comes in 50, 60, 65, and 70 pound draw weights. Draw lengths with the lever cam from 25.5 to 30 inches. It's a modular rotating 1/2 inch increment on the draw length adjustment with no bow press. And again, the MSRP is $13.99. The V3X shoots IBO rating of 340. It's 29 inches axle to axle with a 6 inch brace height. The physical weight is 4.47 pounds. It's 80 or 85% let off, comes in 60, 65, 70, or 75 pound draw weights. Draw length is 25.5 to 30 inch as well. This does have the cross-centric with switch weight technology, and the MSRP in the granite, I kept calling it graphite before, and the granite color is $12.75. Now if you jump up to the 33, you're looking at 336 IBO at $12.99 MSRP with the upcharge of $75 for granite. Now the X30 and the X33 from Xpedition are identically the same bow, except the 33 is a 33 inch axle to axle bow, so it would compare very much to the V3X 33 at the same price with the same exact specs. So there's the spec lowdown. Now, one thing I did not know before shooting the Matthews was that it was a 6 inch brace height. I am not a fan of short brace heights, and that's probably why I was feeling the jump in the draw. Other than that, once I got to the back wall, because both bows are at 80%, they're pretty similar. The big thing for me is weight, speed, and price. So with my Xpedition, you purchase this bow at $13.99, and let's say you're getting rid of an older bow, you can move your accessories right over to this bow, no questions asked. With the Matthews, you have two options. You can mount a sight outside and not through the riser for their integrated system. But the whole point of this bow was because of the integration. Now here's the downfall. If you do not want the integrated system on the Matthews, and you took and mounted your old sight from your old bow to the outside of the riser like normal, you can no longer use the low pro quiver that is attached to this. You would have to go to their 2-piece takeoff quiver, which, if I'm not mistaken, is somewhere in the $300 area just for the quiver. Same thing with the rest. If you did a non-integrated rest, so if you went with a regular QAD and mounted it to this bow, you also cannot use this quiver. You would have to use the removable quiver. So I'll go into more detail in the studio on pros and cons, and we'll list them out here for you on the video. But wanted to kind of give you the brief synopsis while we're here in the shop. Again, this is a super nice setup, very clean with all the integrations to it. However, I think in the long run, price becomes a pretty heavy issue with integrating everything. But again, when we get back to the studio, you'll see what we're talking about. So we'll talk to you in a few minutes. So that weight difference, we've done the backcountry gear list, a full pound in any type of hunting situation, especially if you're in the backcountry, that pound translates into quite a lot of weight. So definitely a con on the Matthews side as far as weight of the bow. With the technology that's out there, obviously Xpedition figured it out and knew what they were getting into when they did it with the X-Loy to be able to drop the weight of the X30, the X33. So then we went and talked about a little bit about the integrated system. Now, I will give Matthews credit. This was a great idea. The downfall is the cost of the integration to the consumer. So, like I said when we were at the shop, with the X30, if I go in and I'm just buying a new bow, all my accessories can transfer from my old bow to the X30. No questions asked. With the V3X, the reason everybody is talking about it is because of the integrated idea that Matthews came up with to integrate the sight to go through the riser, the rest, and so on and so forth with the low profile quiver. So the design idea is great, and I just wish they would have thought about it a little bit better before they went and started pricing all of the accessories to integrate into the bow. So for instance, I was able to get the MSRPs, again these are manufacturer suggested retail prices, from Lonesome Road. So the Matthews 6-inch stabilizer, which was on the bow that we shot, retail on that stabilizer is $159.99. Now that is not an integrated piece. That's if you own a Matthews bow and you want a Matthews stabilizer, that just goes with any Matthews bow. Okay, the IMX rest, which is the integrated rest that was on the bow we shot. It's a QAD Ultra rest designed by Matthews or for the V3X in the integrated system so that it's shorter so you can use the low profile quiver. Okay, the rest is $259, which everybody that shoots a QAD knows that you're going to pay for the quality of a QAD rest. No big deal. The downfall is you need a QAD IMX rest adapter to make it work on the bow. So you're already at $259 on the rest. Now you got to throw in another $25 to get the adapter. Now, the quiver that was on the bow that we shot was the low profile, integrated quiver so that it's super close, everything's compact. Again, great idea. The low pro quiver, if you do not buy the full package deal and you are going in to buy the quiver alone, you're at $239 for a quiver. Guys, it's a quiver. Take the quiver off your bow and hang it in your tree. Okay? I could never pay $240 for a quiver. It's there to hold my extra arrows. I'd rather go buy a rangefinder. I'd rather go buy a dozen target arrows, high-end target arrows. Okay? So that's where the issue comes from with the integrated system. It's a great idea. However, with the exception of the few sites that I have seen that they have 100% verified that they will fit the new V3X, if you buy all Matthews, if you're a Matthews junkie and you need everything Matthews, you're looking at 160, 420, 660, $685 in accessories before you even have arrows for your bow. Before you can shoot it, you're adding $685 to your bow. So, that's my biggest gripe about the bow, is the fact that because all those parts say Matthews, is they charge an arm and a leg so that you can outfit your bow with them. Now, the one thing that I did like, for sure, about the Matthews was the grip. I didn't think I would, but for some reason that grip felt very comfortable in my hand. So there's my, for sure, definite positive about the bow, me shooting it. I like the grip a lot. Okay, now we go back to speed. You know, years ago, everybody, I need the fastest bow out there to go hunt with, which you do not. We all know this. We've all been taught and learned things through the years, so we get it. But if you can buy a bow that is IBO 350 and above to go hunt with, and it's comfortable, it's quiet, and it does what it's supposed to do, by all means, why not? But again, with all the technology that's out there, different cams that have come out through the years, different, you know, riser components, limb components, all this stuff, you would think that Matthews, of all people, would bring a bow to market as their new flagship bow that shoots faster than 350. So what really caught me off guard was the fact that IBO rating goes up to 340. Okay, this is their flagship. This is their top model. And it shoots up to 340, which means that its highest draw weight and the draw length that they used to test, it didn't get faster than 340 feet a second. My X30 shoots between 350 to 352 depending on the way it's set up. And you could tell, which you probably saw in the video, the arrow speed was much lacking in the speed department when I was shooting both bows. So the other downfall is in this 29-inch axle-to-axle configuration. For me, now we had the bow set, it was about 55 pounds, which obviously if you take a 60-pound bow and you turn it down a couple turns, it's going to get into the 50s. Roughly, it's 3 pounds for about every one full turn on your limb pocket screws. So I had actually turned my X30 down so that I would closely match the Matthews. So we got it to about 56 on my Xpedition and 55 on the Matthews. The downfall is that a 60-pound limb, if you have a shooter who can't draw mid or high 50s, they don't even offer this bow in a 50-pound limb. So again, your flagship model is what you're marketing across, that's all you're gonna see across 2022 is the Matthews V3X. And you are taking it away from shooters who maybe want to purchase it but can't because you don't make limbs for them. So again, the Xpedition, 50, 60, 65, 70 pounds. Matthews, 60, 65, 70, 80. So for, let's say it's a female shooter who can't draw high 50s. Now they either need to practice in getting their bow drawing at a higher poundage so that they can purchase this new bow, or they need to step down a bow or go to the female only or female specific bow that they make, because they don't offer the package for them in their flagship bow. So I'm going to put it this way because we're already like 16 minutes into this video, and it's, we're well probably into a 30-minute video right now. And I apologize for that, but this was something we really needed to do, that I wanted to do with the amount of talk about it. So, cons for me for the Xpedition. MSRP $13.99. Okay. Is it horrible? No. Everybody has bows, high-end flagship bows that are $12.99, $13.99. I've seen bows at $15.99. Again, these are MSRPs. That's not, I'm sure if you go to a shop, they got MAP pricing, the owner, he's going to cut you a deal or something. So I'm just going by MSRP. So MSRP on the Xpedition X30 is $13.99, or on the 33 it's $13.99. So if we compare the 33 and the 33, Matthews and Xpedition, the Xpedition's $100 more, but you can literally take everything off your old bow and slap it onto the Xpedition. You can too with the Matthews if you do not want to use the low profile quiver, because you can't mount the low profile quiver without the integrated system. The other con that I would say, it's not really a con, it's just something I wish Xpedition had, that I guess would turn into a pro for the Matthews bow, is I do like the silent connect system. And I also like the fact that they have this new setup on their cams for being able to stay in the field. You can actually take a string or a rope, and there's two hooks on the cam on the Matthews to make it into basically a versatile field bow press, so you can spin your cams to take the weight if you need to change a string or peep or what have you. You can do that in the field. And again, this is something that they just came out with, so I don't know how well that portion works, but I know the silent connect system, for me especially, because I like leaving my bow ropes, whether it's on my saddle or in my stands, short, not on the ground. I would like to be able to just hook it right on and not make any noise with carabiners or tying knots. So I will give Matthews that. But honestly, and again, this is my opinion, it's not the golden rule, I'm just telling you the way I feel. The bow shot okay. I wasn't super crazy about it. It's much better than their V3. But there was a jump, and I think it was because of the shorter brace height. And granted, it's only a 1/4 inch. That 1/4 inch plays a huge deal when you have bad shoulders and you're trying to draw a bow back. You don't want to feel jump. You don't want to feel that wall that you have to climb over to get back into the back wall. That's why I love my Xpedition. That's why you heard me talk about it in the original video, is there's no wall. It's a shorter brace height bow, and I can draw it at 62 pounds without my shoulder screaming at me. Most other bows, you tell me the bow set at 60, turn it down, I ain't shooting it. 62 pounds is where I could be comfortable in that Xpedition with the shorter brace height. Now last year on my MX-15, I could shoot even more than that and it had a bigger brace height. So normally the shorter the brace height, you either get a jump or a wall halfway through the draw cycle. The Matthews definitely has it. You can definitely feel it when you hit it. It was like a hop. Like I rolled the cam over and it felt like the string was trying to come off. Other than that, quietness, vibration wise, no issues there. Definitely no issues on the Xpedition. So yes, I get it. If you're a Matthews diehard, person, you're gonna go buy this V3X. I'm not telling anybody not to go buy the V3X because I'm sure, again, like I said, I'm gonna get slammed in the comments. I'm sure people will say stuff on Facebook, all that fun stuff. Okay, this is my opinion as a shooter shooting a bow that is the flagship model of another company rather than the company that I shoot and the company we chose to work with. Dollar for dollar, I have to pick the Xpedition because of weight and the ability that I don't have to go spend $685 on accessories to make the bow the way that they are going to advertise the bow as an integrated system. So, price wise, it's $100, $200 depending on the model. But it's a pound less. There's no upcharge for colors. You can get it in solid colors like mine. You can get it in camo, but they're not charging you $75 because they got a special color. They do the OD green, which is what I shot last year, the all black, the tan, so on and so forth. There's no extra charges for those colors. The granite color, which is the bow we shot, so that has the $75 upcharge from Matthews. It's like ghost gray to me. It's been around for years, so why there's a special upcharge for it, I don't know. But regardless, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you get the gist of what we're trying to do here. Again, I'm not trying to slam Matthews. Excuse me. We just wanted to show you that Matthews isn't the only brand that's out there. Hoyt isn't the only brand that's out there. There's pockets of Xpedition dealers all around the country. And there should be more. So if make sure you like the video, give us a thumbs up, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to check us out on Carbon TV, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll talk to you guys soon.